Welcome to another MOTIVICTOR production. I'm your regular narrator, Victor Isibo. This is the true life, bittersweet story of love between OSARO and NEKPEN. OSARO was a Mercedes-Benz mechanic around the popular Uwelu spare parts market in Benin City. And NEKPEN was an ordinary banana hawker on the streets of Benin. After finishing her secondary school education, her mother had no money to sponsor her university education. Her father died many years prior. Being an only surviving child, NEKPEN opted to join her mother in her fruit business, and she opted to hawk bananas on the street. Her elegant beauty, even as she hawked, made many men become fans of banana overnight. A lot of promiscuous men suddenly fell in love with her bananas. Some would even say there is something special about her bananas. And they would buy bananas even when they didn't need it, just to have an opportunity to spend time and interact with her. She turned down many love advances because what she wanted was true love. Incidentally, one day, while hawking along the Uwelu spare parts market road, hers and Usaro's paths crossed. For Osaro, it was love at first sight. Osaro instantly fell in love with NEKPEN and begged her to always bring bananas to his workshop every day, to which NEKPEN gladly obliged. I must say that Osaro is a man who had come of age, very respectful and hardworking. These were virtues that NEKPEN found attractive in Osaro. She considered him a responsible man who would never play with her heart. Every day, Osaro would offer to buy off all the bananas NEKPEN had available, after which he would ask her to spend the whole of the day with him. After all, there are no more bananas to sell. Gradually, NEKPEN fell deeper and deeper in love with Osaro. And one day she narrated her sad story of poverty to Osaro, how her father died and how she had been unable to pursue her degree in law at the university as a result of scarcity of funds. An emotional Osaro promised to be the father she no longer had and encouraged her to go back to school, promising to sponsor her education at the university. Osaro, a man of his words, backed his promises up with action. He gave her money to buy WAEC and JAMB forms, and also registered her at extramural classes. She passed and she got her admission letter to study law at the prestigious Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma. It was an emotional moment, and NEKPEN showed gratitude to Osaro, showing him the admission letter. One of her biggest dreams, Osaro just made it come true. While she was studying law at the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, as Osaro, the mechanic, was paying her school fees and hostel rent, he was also giving her money as monthly upkeep. Sometimes Osaro would abandon his workshop at Uwelu in Benin, buy foodstuff, get on a bus, and travel all the way to Ekpoma to give these foodstuffs to Nekpen. On his way back, he would also buy foodstuff and take to Nekpen's mother at home. He became a father figure, not only to Nekpen, but also to her mom. 5 years later, upon Nekpen's graduation, Osaro celebrated with her, threw her a party, and he used that opportunity to ask her when he was free to come and pay her bride price so that she would eventually become his wife. To this, Nekpen replied that she would love to go and do her compulsory 1-year NYSC service, come back, get a job before she wants the marriage to happen. Osaro, a man deeply in love, reluctantly agreed. Eventually, Nekpen got posted to serve in Rivers State, Port Harcourt precisely, and was subsequently posted to the law department of an oil company as her place of primary assignment. However, Nekpen met a handsome young man who was the head of the legal department of the firm where she was serving. The man, named Henry, was attracted to Nekpen, the new youth corper in his department. He asked to become Nekpen's lover. He promised to marry her and promised also to make sure that she gets retained at the company after her 1-year NYSC youth service. However, Nekpen mentions to Henry that she had a certain Osaro that she was dating in Benin. Henry dismissed Osaro as an ordinary roadside mechanic who was not deserving of a beautiful lawyer like Nekpen. You must note that there's a certain level of desperation amongst youth corpers when they are doing their 1-year service, especially if they were posted to lucrative companies. There is a desperation to get retained at such offices after their 1-year service. Nekpen paid a fast and very brief visit to Benin to have a discussion with her mother over this dilemma. Upon discussing this matter with her mother gave Nekpen her full support to date Henry and dump Osaro. As a matter of fact, her mother insisted that on that very visit, she should make sure she meets with Osaro and break things up with him immediately. The mother said, and I quote, "I have been thinking about this matter. I have never seen a lawyer marry a mechanic. Such an educated and beautiful woman will suddenly marry an ugly, dirty-looking mechanic? My daughter will not break a terrible record. It has never happened before. So, Henry is a big fish. You must not miss him. Break things up with Osaro. Is he the first person to train a woman at school? Nonsense." Nekpen succumbed. She agreed, and she decided to invite Osaro to come over to their house so that she would break things up with him face to face. Now, Osaro came, and publicly, Nekpen gave him the most embarrassing moment he had ever witnessed in his life. She said that she was levels above Osaro. She said that a lawyer like her cannot be seen to be married to an ordinary roadside mechanic. Nekpen even went further to say that Osaro was not her spec. So all these years that Osaro was paying your bills and that of your mother and paying your school fees to study law at Ambrose Ali University, you did not realize that it was not your spec. She even made reference to his dark skin color, that the engine oils that he changes from cars had faded his color deep, dark, black, and annoying like charcoal. So all these years that OSARO was spending money for you, you did not notice his color. OSARO was deep in tears as he walked back home, reflecting on all the 6 years he had put into the relationship, all the money spent, sacrifices made. He was disheartened. OSARO gradually slipped into depression. He took to alcoholism, drank himself to stupor on a daily basis. Anybody that met him at the bar while he was drinking, he would narrate his failed relationship with NEKPEN to them. Anybody who cared to listen. Even when he goes to the market, he would bore the market woman with the story of his failed relationship with NEKPEN. Strangers who listened to his emotionally sad stories laid curses on NEKPEN even when they did not know her. He would tell the old, the young, the middle-aged, everyone. If you met OSARO for just 5 minutes, he would find a way to tell you his sad story. That was probably his coping mechanism. OSARO met with NEKPEN and begged her, hoping that she would change her mind. He did that severally while NEKPEN was still around in Benin. NEKPEN kept refusing. She kept her stand. She was done with the relationship. NEKPEN returned to Port Harcourt, and her relationship with Henry continued from where they stopped. You know, they were always having public show of affection until few days to the end of NEKPEN's 1-year service. That is, few days to our passing out parade date. She observed that for the past few days, she had been trying to reach Henry on phone to no avail. Neither did Henry bother to call her, which was very, very strange and uncharacteristic of him. Out of curiosity, NEKPEN decided to ask an older woman who was a staff of the company with whom she shared an office space the whereabouts of Henry, the head of department. The older woman explained that Henry had gone on a 3-month leave to be with his wife and 3 children in the United Kingdom, and that before he would return, NEKPEN would have been long gone and done with her service at the office. Shock was an understatement compared to what NEKPEN felt. Upon seeing the shock on NEKPEN's face, the woman proceeded to show her Henry's family pictures on social media, and NEKPEN realized that she had been played and fooled all along. The woman went further to tell NEKPEN that Henry was a womanizer who always took emotional advantage of every female copper in that department with the fake promise of employment after youth service, a promise he had never fulfilled, as he always disappeared shortly before his victim's end-of-year service. The main shocker for NEKPEN and disappointment was the fact that she was already 3 months pregnant for Henry. Meanwhile, back in Benin, OSARO continued to work diligently as a mechanic, and his path crossed with a single and beautiful bank manager whom he helped to fix her car. The lady immediately fell in love with OSARO, a young, hard-working man who was very honest. They both fell in love with each other, and they were already planning to get married. That's to tell you that it's too late for Nekpen to even plan to return to Osaro. After youth service, Nekpen returned to Benin. All the money she made during her 1-year service did not even last she and her mother for a week. They were back to selling fruits. That is how, after a few months, Nekpen gave birth and she became a single mother. And since then, she's been a single mother. So the next time you are in Benin City and you see a young woman with a 10-year-old on the street, both of them hawking bananas, please patronize them. That is most likely Nekpen and her son that she birthed for Henry, who ran away to the United Kingdom. Nekpen and her son are still hawking bananas on the streets of Benin till this day. What are the morals of this story? Mothers, stop using your daughters as bargaining tools to extort money from men. Stop using your daughters as your retirement plans. Then young ladies, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Stop belittling the men in your lives because a man out there is wooing you and promising you heaven and earth. Not all that glitters is gold. Women, if you know that you don't like this man and you don't see a future with him, stop collecting his money. In life, you reap what you sow. Karma is real. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a like and share it within your social media community. And of course, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification icon so that you don't miss the next one. Till I see you next time, I remain your regular narrator, Victor Isibo. It is bye for now.